Depuis des siècles, la viticulture est une partie intégrante de la culture croate. Comme la production de vin est intimement liée au tourisme, la viticulture est un important secteur économique agricole en Croatie. À la barre de son entrée dans l'Union européenne, le vin croate s'oriente vers un marché à plus grande échelle, alors que qualité versus quantité entrent en jeu. Ayant été le premier producteur de vin indépendant suite à la tombée du communisme en Croatie en 1991, Branimir Sibalo ainsi que sa femme ne peuvent ignorer les changements que sera susciter l'économie européenne auprès de leur vignoble.
You're now in Lumbarda on the island of Korcula, which is the island in Dalmatian coast of Croatia. Dalmatia is one of the zones where we produce grapes and wine. The other in Croatia. The other zone being the continental part of the country.
Well, I inherited vineyards from my parents, like he inherited from his parents. So we have vineyards in this village for hundreds of years. And I start doing in a little bit different way what my grandfather did, making wine, but maybe better way or new way.
So here we produce Grk, which is very unique variety of grapes, grows only here in Lumbarda, and is unique because it has only a feminine flower, meaning that 99% of all grape varieties on earth, they are bisexual plants. Grk has only a feminine flower, which makes difficulty in producing grape and wine.
Grape producing, working in the vineyards, it's not easy job altogether. But with this Gurk wines, like she said, we have red, and there is something to do all year round.
If I may add, to make wine actually good or bad, you start making wine in the vineyard. So for a good wine especially, it is precious the work in the vineyards, because this is where the wine actually is made, not in the cellar. In cellar you do the rest, but if you don't have good grapes, then it's all in vain.
You have to take care in each step or each month, each day. You know, actually making the wine and producing the grapes. The less mistakes you do, you have a better product, and you can do a mistake anytime.
Since the grapes were grown here for more than 2,300 years, it is necessary to add fertilizer to the soil, because this is one very important part for the fruit, if you want to have a good fruit. So organic fertilizers, this is what we use. Then the second part, which is very, very important for good grapes, is the pruning of the wine trees in the winter. This is usually done in January and February. So this is done in a way to reduce the amount of fruit you get. So the less amount of fruit you get on a wine tree, the better grapes are, the better fruit, and the better fruit makes better wine.
Tandis que l'appréciation des consommateurs ainsi que leurs demandes reste avantageuse, secousse économique n'épargne pourtant point les activités viticoles du vignoble des Sibalo.
Well, economic crisis in 2008 is still here, so it has a prolonged life, and the politicians say that we are going to start getting out of it in a year or two. So in wine production, of course we feel it in everyday life, but in our wine production it doesn't affect it too much, because we have a niche of a product with this our wine, because it's so rare and unusual, and the production is very small, that it is not we don't have difficulty selling it. We wouldn't have any problem selling it even in larger quantities, but then the problem is that we can't enlarge our property because of other there is simply no land to buy or to make the vineyards bigger.
Well, the crisis, like every crisis, having an effect on everybody. What happened is that most people would like to buy the wine and pay later whenever, which is, it's easy to sell the wine, but it's not easy to get money back. But altogether, I think all these global crises that are going and staying, not going but staying, and I don't know how long this is gonna, I think this is gonna last for a while. I know that in Croatia, in whole Europe, there is a lot of wine that is not sold, and I think this is going to be a problem, and it is a problem for most of winemakers in Croatia and Europe, simply because people drink less and wine is expensive, let's say.
Wine is
Depends.
a luxury.
Good wine is more expensive, and bad wine nobody wants to drink. So. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, privatization in Croatia, that was a big process that didn't turn out very well. But good thing that happened is that private enterprise was allowed compared to socialist state of Yugoslavia. And then a lot of people like me start their own small or bigger scale business in winemaking, and the competition actually started, and ex-state-owned wineries had to move and do better wine, otherwise they would finish. And that competition actually rise quality of wine in Croatia very fast and very good.
Večeras me, dobri ljudi, nemojte ništa pitati. Neka suze tiho teku, pa će manje boljeti. Ne dirajte mi večeras, uspomenas.
We're going to join European Union soon. Whether, to my opinion, we are not prepared to enter, but that's the way it is. I think we're going to have a much cheaper wine entering Croatia, and I don't know how we're going to handle that because it's as a small producers. And taking consideration that people at the moment don't have much money, they're going to go for, let's say, cheaper wines and whatever they taste like or whatever they are. We are entering the global market, global world, and all small individuals, small producers are not very welcome there.
Yes, I see some advantages. Being 50 years under the communist regime, in the economy, small private enterprises were not allowed. So now they flourish, and because of that, in the wine industry, a lot of variety of grapes are now preserved because they were not economically exploited during the last 50 years, or 50 years under the communist era. So right now there is always a fashion in shoes, in clothing, and also in wine and food industry. And now odd or obscure or rare wines made from the rare wine grape varieties are in fashion and are very popular.
En Croatie, la viticulture est un emblème national qui, depuis déjà plusieurs siècles, s'est révélé tel étant une activité éveillant beaucoup de fierté auprès des habitants de ce pays. Engin économique, mais avant tout un patrimoine culturel, le vignoble Cévalo s'établit comme étant une fierté nationale, unissant le peuple croate ainsi qu'étrangers de toutes parts du globe. Grâce à des caractéristiques leur étant propres, les producteurs de ces vignes ancestrales de Grk se distinguent nettement de leurs compétiteurs.
Longer you are with your wine, or talking about years, experience, less mistakes you make, and maybe that's the answer. I don't know.
I would add something. It's, of course, the variety to start with, terroir, and good winemaking, and the reflection of the winemaker that makes it good. Okay? I think you agree on that. Cheers.
Ću se vratiti, ne dirajte mi večeras uspomenom na njih. Ne dirajte mi ravnicu, jer ja ću se vratiti.